Hello and thank you for joining me for another AB Talks. I'm delighted to be joined by Egert and Henri from Invest in Estonia. Thank you both for joining me for Unite Dubai. A relatively small country in Europe, 1.3 million people, the size of Switzerland. How can you compete with countries like the UK, the US, China and the UAE for getting inward investments? The competition is global these days. How do you position yourselves?
We don't necessarily see them as our competitors because I think each country has their own benefits and strengths, so we mainly try to concentrate on those and don't let us to be bothered what others are doing, because what we have in Estonia is a certain mix of opportunities and strengths, and we try to advertise those, and these people who know something about them, they turn to us, and we have a very good collaboration. The investments are coming in, and the scene is very active, so we don't necessarily feel that we lose something because of other countries.
I think I agree, of course, and Estonia is like very digitalized country. Like 99.9% of our public services are, of course, online, and people are very getting excited because of that, and a lot of foreign investments today are because of the fact that we are so transparent and so quick in terms of bureaucracy and to run a business. Of course, it's very easy to do it online, and of course to develop a company and open a company in Estonia, you can do it wherever you are and run your business. We can do both business here, and we have businesses in Estonia, and you can do it online everywhere you are. And then the investments today are during the COVID time, of course, when all the world were closed. But we were still open in terms of online, and that it was very convenient for a lot of companies and entrepreneurs and investors. And they see that our startups getting bigger during the very tough times. And we were very busy because of, we're now the first in Europe in terms of per capita. We have the most unicorns, and then this shows that we are doing something great and right, and we are very proud of that.
Let's pause here a moment and just talk about that statistic and pull it out a little bit further. The most per capita unicorns in Europe. How did Estonia get there? Is it this digitalization that you're talking about? What is it that drives the country to have the highest number of unicorns per capita?
Well, certainly we don't think it happened by chance. There are reasons behind it, and one of the main underlying reasons is that we come from a past when we regained independence from Soviet Union 30 years ago. Then the IT was just starting. Computers were really big, if they were even at home. So we managed to ride on the same horse with all other world. We were not left behind due to our past, because this field was just starting, and we didn't have heritage systems those times. So when we started our own banks, we could immediately take the best technology available, and this happened in all the sectors in the country. And also government was very active, and they had to be innovative because we didn't have too much money to invest. So therefore those technological solutions helped a lot. And of course, the more they ordered these systems, the more the private companies that developed those systems got experience. So they turned up developing things that were never made in the world before. No, let's say e-residency. Our country offers e-residency, which is an Estonian ID card that enables you to access all Estonian digital services, which is basically 99%. There's not much that you cannot do with the ID card besides getting married. There you need to show up, but I think it makes sense, right?
You have to say I do as well.
Yeah. Well, I do, you can write, but also, but you need to show up. So those companies have gained a lot of experience, a unique experience, and these competencies are all in Estonia, they're present. So times go by, people grow, they have more ideas, they establish their own companies, their own startups based on this experience. So there's no wonder that these companies will grow, yeah? They get bigger because people know what they're doing. It's not just some guys who had some idea, but there's grown-up and serious people who know what's missing maybe or what needs to be done, and they know how to do it. So of course this draws more attention and more success, and when some exits are made or some companies turn unicorns and founders sell something, then that is a substantial money that comes to a small nation, yeah. And luckily our founders have been patriotic, they are reinvesting. So it accelerates and creates more and more success. And this success is obviously noticed in the world, where practically, I think I could say, very well known in the digital area in the world. So I think it all drags positive things to us and keeps doing it.
I have nothing to add, it's very true. And our IT Minister, Anslan mentioned as well that our plan is to have at least 25 unicorns in the year of 2025. So we are having at the moment 9, yeah, and so it's a very optimistic plan.
That's an ambitious goal.
That's an ambitious goal, but
we have plenty of candidates.
Yeah, we have plenty of candidates, and I don't believe that it's going to be impossible, and I'm looking into that. So
well, I'm excited to see if you make it. I'll be keeping an eye on.
Yeah.
So we're speaking here at Unite Dubai, though. So perhaps we should spend a moment here to talk about ties to the Middle Eastern region as well, and ties with Estonia. What kind of opportunities are there for Middle Eastern investors in Estonia? Where are the gaps, and where would the interest lie?
Mm-hmm. I think opportunities are everywhere, but there's always a question what one or other particular investor or company needs. What are their needs? What are their interests? Yeah? Let's say that there are a lot of Estonian companies who are interested in the Gulf region, and then Expo has proved that. We have constantly different delegations coming, and obviously those Estonian companies have interests in the region. And also Middle Eastern investors are interested in investing in such companies who have ties to local markets, and they don't want to just bring the money somewhere and forget it, wait for returns, but they want to deal with companies that are active here on this market, and we have plenty of such companies. So we're dealing with them, we know them, and we can introduce them to investors. And of course, there are different advantages that every country has. No? It can be logistical, maybe advantage by investing in Estonia. You will have EU label on your production, you have access to local market the same way as local companies do in Europe. There is a lot of ways. We have certain competencies, some fields are developing, many global conglomerates are interested in having a share in this. What we do, what we develop, it is related to their production, their interests, so they want to have some ownership in this. They are interested in the technologies, they can use them here in their own operations. There's a lot of reasons why to invest, or in the first place, why to speak to us, let's say, because we can identify those interests together and see if there is a fit, match.
Just maybe logistically, Estonia is very in a good place. We have Scandinavia in front of us, I would say, and it's Central Europe is also very close to us, and you can say that between Estonia and China, it's only one country, so we have a very good position, and yeah, I can see that a lot of investors and entrepreneurs and companies here would like to do business in Estonia because of the fact we are very close to Central Europe, and they want to do business and start retail business, and the EU mark is very good point, and so that's something we are discussing a lot, and of course technology and the mindset and talents here in Estonia. They also looking opportunities here to come to do business here, and we can maybe find some match here as well to collaborate in these two countries.
So obviously over the last couple of years there has been a bit of a stymie in terms of the global economy, namely the COVID-19 pandemic. How did Estonia walk through the pandemic? I mean, we talked about these high levels of digitalization as well, and the advantages that brings. What kind of interest have you seen within the startup scene, for instance? How has the economy reacted and dealt with the pandemic, and where are we standing now?
In terms of investments, we are lucky in the sense that we are not in one business. Yeah, if we were a hotel, then it would be a problem. Yeah, but we are in the business. We deal with all the companies. Yeah, so there's always someone who benefits from any situation in the world. Yeah, so there is a technology companies that are booming because people have started using more IT instruments. Yeah, they stayed more at home. So certain services are developing, certain websites are more popular, certain things are done that were not done before. And these companies turn to us, and they need to develop quickly, they need people, they need anything. They need offices, they need developers, they need to cater their needs. Yeah? But what concerns Estonia inside, I think we dealt with the situation quite well, because we had all the IT tools available to go home and keep working from there. All the systems were in place, and if they were not in place, they were created very quickly. And this is the advantage of a small country where we can mobilize very quickly. We take decisions, and the next day they start implementing it. So I think we were quite satisfied.
I think Estonia was kind of ready for this situation even before the COVID existed. So we were very developed already, and everything can be done now, or before the COVID, it can be done online already. Yeah, so after the COVID, there is only one thing that wasn't online yet, was if you want to buy real estate, you have to go to notary. But now you can do it online as well. You can buy a house from here. For example, if you're in Dubai, you want to have an apartment in Tallinn, you can do it here. So everything is online. So we were ready for that, and we came out of that very strongly, and even maybe stronger than before.
Technology made us maybe more COVID-proof than some other countries, so we got maybe less hit because of that.
So, final question for me before we end up here. Every country has a few key particular sectors that draw attention. I think we've touched on a few of them already, but would you be able to tell me exactly where they are, where the opportunities lie, and bring some examples as well?
Estonia is very like a country where there is so many opportunities. Of course, as you mentioned, hydrogen and energy and renewable, all that, of course it's a hot topic for everyone, and people are looking these kind of opportunities in Estonia as well, because we have the technology, and we are very eager to look investors from all over the world to help us to build this kind of a new technologies that helps our world to become better. But of course, for example, in Estonia, I can see that automation technology and Volkswagen and there are companies, IT companies, who are developing these softwares for this automation industry at the moment, car machines and all that. So this is a very new thing in the whole world at the moment, and we're very proud that all these technologies are developed in Estonia. So I guess, let's say, there is like a very different varieties of things in Estonia you can do, or where to invest. So let's start with IT, energy, retail, just manufacturing, all that. The possibilities are so many. So
it could be a shared service center.
Yeah, exactly.
We have constantly inquiries about the situation in Estonia. Companies want to establish some R&D centers. They ask how is it in terms of availability of IT workforce. They've heard that we are good. They don't want to miss out. They also want to have some part of their company there, because they know that Estonia is doing well in this sector, so they want to participate.
The R&D is actually a very good point, because just lately, there is a lot of companies who are bringing their R&D centers in Estonia. For example, in Malwarebytes, which is one of the biggest cybersecurity companies in the world, of course, Microsoft, ABB, Ericsson, a lot of these companies are bringing these R&D centers here in Estonia, because we are very global-minded, and it's very easy to do business here and very quick on innovation. So that's something we're very proud of course, and we can see that this is something we are getting stronger in the future as well.
And I had one comment from a client. He said that he feels that he can double his workforce in Estonia without losing in quality, and there's not many countries he could say the same about.
On that note, I think we'll call it there. Thank you both for joining me. I hope you enjoy the conference later this evening. I'll be looking on for 2025 and to see 25 unicorns in Estonia. Thank you both for joining me.
Let's see how it goes. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.